Good evening, everyone. The more I do these videos, the more that they are helping me with my thought process and really what the videos are about. I remember recently I was thinking to myself, and I do that a great deal in reference to self-reflection, but I'm going to get to some information very quickly, and then I'm going to come back to my thought. I mentioned the other day about this book, or this catalog, called Health Research, and it's basically a book that I've had forever that actually is involved with rare and unusual books. And I just wanted to name a couple of book names. One is called Your Invisible Power. The author's last name is B-E-H-R-E-N-D. The person's first name is spelled G-E-N-E-V-I-E-V-E. G-E-N-E-V-I-E-V-E. And basically what this book is about is how to work concrete principles regarding what's called applied mental science to attract the things to yourself that you desire. Another great book is called The Path of Prosperity by James Allen. I believe he was the same writer who wrote the book called As a Man Thinketh. There's another individual by the name of Earl Nightingale, and he has a YouTube video called The Greatest Secret Never Told. And this particular book talks about the lesson of evil, the world as a reflex of mental states, and the way out of undesirable conditions. I believe this particular information is extremely powerful. One more book that I think that would be a great piece of literature is something called The White Magic Book, and it is by Mrs. John Lebreton, spelled Lebreton. And basically what this does is it shows you how to use signs corresponding to answers on each page, which gives you a little bit more insight on something called mental science. When I was much younger, I used to ask myself questions. And part of these questions was, why did some people have a lot and some people didn't hardly have anything? And then why did some people live in desirable conditions and other people live in conditions that wasn't too cool? I'm going to come back to that. Just want to leave you with that thought. If you ever decide to put together an LLC or potentially get into things dealing with creating corporations for your businesses as fictions, you want to get this book right here called Robert's Rules of Order. And basically what it teaches is the classical manual of parliamentary procedure in terms of how to conduct your affairs when you're dealing with your minutes and dealing with your directors, and how you are, how can I say, maintaining your business. If you have been born in conditions where there's not a lot of people who are teaching you a great deal, what you have to find out that is in this life, if you don't do the work yourself, or you're not born in a family where education is, how can I say, of great value, then you will have a great deal of issues, because the world that we live in, as I'm sure most people know and some don't, that people take advantage of you just because you just don't know. So I am just trying to share some ideas, trying to crack some atoms in reference to people that want to know more. Now, up to this point, my videos are not being watched that much right now, but I think that later, if nobody watches them, the great deal about the videos is I'll be able to come back to the videos myself and watch what it is that I am sharing, because quite often exactly what I'm talking about, I need to hear myself. I wanted to get back to this book here called The Seeds of Greatness. And I just wanted to itemize some of the chapters. One of the chapters relates to what buckwheat. Buckwheat was a individual who played in, how can I say, like a sitcom type of situation back during the late 60s, early 70s. And he was a black kid that everybody made fun of, but come to find out, the individual was very sharp, because quite often, to appear silly, you have to be intelligent to know how to maintain that, so you don't create, how can I say, any conflict with someone else who wants to be up front. There's another chapter called Don't Be Fooled by the Mask. There's another one dealing with fear, which is called False Education Appearing Real. Most of us have been educated falsely, and so that is the reason why what I want to do is give back to what I did not receive. And before I get to my story, because I'm looking at my time, another great one is You Are a Masterpiece of Creation. Let me say that again. You are a masterpiece of creation. When you wake up one day and figure that out, if someone didn't tell you, because when you're not told, you think you're the opposite of that. And quite often, when we don't know certain things about ourselves, we tend to act in the opposite. Another great aspect I like about this book is 10 action steps to build self-esteem. 10 action steps to build self-esteem. And this is Seeds of Greatness by Dennis Waitley. Now, one of the things I wanted to speak about until my time goes is, because I try to keep it at 10 minutes, is we live in a world based on Mother Nature. And if you happen to be born in circumstances where you are a male, and one of the things that happened back in the past that was essential was the rites of passage, especially for young males, to be treated a certain way by the men of the group to learn what it meant to be a man. Now, I know some people truly believe that because you're born in whatever gender that you're in, and I tend to believe, because I've looked at this over time, is that when you are male, you are compelled to be assertive, but the sad aspect of that is that you can be assertive in the wrong way. And in the society that we live in, that can be a serious problem. My point is that until someone comes in your life, or you find out in some other kind of way how to do what you're doing, and someone teaches you how to be what you think that some people assume that you can become, generally as a rule, you're always going to end up in a bad way. Because what I found out, and there's a book, I can't recall of it right now, I believe the author's name might be Monroe, but I'm going to check it out later. What the book is based on is, and this gentleman spoke about it, and I thought this was very powerful, and that is this. The video was called, Why Do Mothers Hate Their Sons? Now that resonated with me because I lived underneath that umbrella for many years, and it caused me a lot of internal disagreement, which, as you know, if you're not together internally, you're going to have a problem externally. And I want to talk more about that because I truly know deep in my heart, most males don't know how to be men. And the difference is, and we could debate on this, is that if you are a male child, you must be taught how to be a man from a man. I'm going to end that. I'll get back to it. Peace.